Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from skiessentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Welcome to our weekly Top 5 Fridays ski industry news videos. And boy, I know this looks a little different.
It feels a little different, to
It
be
certainly
honest.
feels different. I know these are snowboards behind us. Don't panic. We are not switching to snowboardessentials.com. We do sell snowboards. We have for a while now. In fact, our company, this is an interesting piece of information. We are dealer number 7 with Burton.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
Nope, but I know that the umbrella company has had a snowboard shop
Yeah.
in its midst for quite some time. So
Anyways, we are in this new expanded studio, which I'm pretty excited about. We painted a little accent wall here, and yeah, obviously we're surrounded by snowboard stuff. We are increasing the amount that we're doing with snowboards going into this season, and next week, early in the week, you'll see another video from this studio set with a special guest who I won't give away, but I'll just say that if you were to ask for somebody to bring in to talk about snowboard equipment, this is the person that you want.
right, and it's the only person that I know. So it's
Yeah.
it
Pretty.
stands to reason that other people should know as well.
I think people will recognize the
Yeah.
name. So yeah, keep an eye out for that next week. Obviously, we will continue with ski content, so don't freak out. It won't slow down any of our comparisons or anything like that. If anything, we could do a massive comparison. Just
More
a
skis.
around the corner comparison. That'd take forever. So yeah, look out for that. And with that, I think we can get straight into the news. A couple pieces of ski racing news to start out the week. So this is an article or kind of a summary from the Seattle Times on a meeting that the FIS had to discuss some new events, new formats, and some other new ideas. Seems like kind of just a formal brainstorming session.
Yep.
We've talked about it quite a bit. The new president, Johan Elias, we kind of expected him to shake stuff up quite a bit because he comes from a different background than most FIS presidents. So a couple of the kind of big things that we took out of this or major ideas. One of them was adding another World Championship style event. So right now, the World Championships are February of odd years. So we had one last year in 2021. This year is an Olympic year. Olympic years are every other even year. So do the math, that leaves 1 year out of every 4 years that doesn't have kind of what they're calling a signature event.
Yeah.
So some discussions on what that might look like. I think it would be really cool if they did it like a little differently.
Like how?
Well, like we just had the Ryder Cup in golf.
Yeah.
Like, that's a very unique tournament, competition, whatever you want to call it, compared to everything else we see.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool if the FIS, they really went to it from a clean slate.
Yeah.
And created something that we've never seen before.
I'm all for it. I love creativity with that stuff. And
Yeah.
just no one tries anything nowadays. I
Exactly.
want to see something new and interesting.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be really cool if whatever they decide to kind of put in that 1 out of every 4 years spot, the alternate even year.
Yeah.
That's not an Olympic year. So we'd be thinking 2024 at this point. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
All at night, maybe. I don't know. Like, don't groom. We were talking about that the other day.
Right. Speed events in deep snow.
Speed events and yeah. All right. So we'll submit some ideas. If any of you guys have any ideas, we'll add it to our proposal and send that off to FIS.
Yeah. I think there's I don't think it's a very creative group overall. They kind of like their traditions, so I don't
Yeah.
think you're going to be seeing dual snowblade panel GS races anytime soon. But
I could pitch my idea of alpine biathlon.
I mean, there's lots of room for opportunity.
If anybody's curious about alpine biathlon, leave a comment and I'll explain my idea for alpine biathlon. I think it would be the greatest sport ever.
Right.
Safer for spectators than you might think. I have some good safety precautions set in my plan for alpine biathlon. Another really interesting idea that came out of this was a tiered approach to downhill racing. So you'd have like kind of two tiers, like an A circuit and a B circuit. And basically there'd be like 24 athletes in the A circuit, and they're thinking that it would just kind of create more in-season storylines, which I think makes sense.
Yeah, and they compared it to like the European soccer leagues with the relegations and the advancements, and
right.
That's always really interesting, But I like that kind of that bottom tiered racer that just has a good run and wins.
Like when the group is all together. Yeah. I guess
you're gonna miss that.
You would lose the underdog winning story, but yeah, I think in theory it would give more attention to like the skiers ranked in the mid-20s, because you'd kind of you'd see them kind of jostling for that position on the A tier.
Yeah.
So could be kind of cool. And then some other just ideas, a couple other ideas that came out of this meeting. No more Super G races. Just seems extreme, but like you were just saying, try new things, I guess.
Try new things. The longer slalom.
Yeah,
longer giant slalom.
I like your idea of combining giant slalom and Super G into a hybrid event.
Yep.
And then more night events, which I think would be cool. Everyone likes night events.
Yep.
I remember going to the Budweiser aerial assault at Sugarloaf at night, and it was like one of the coolest things I ever.
Yeah, like X Games, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that's great for TV.
And I don't even think it was like the fact that the skiing was really cool.
Yeah.
It was just the fact like being out there at night was really exciting environment.
Well, everyone likes night skiing.
Exactly. So I don't know about no more Super G, but thumbs up to night events. Yeah. Next topic of the week, we have more ski racing news, but it's kind of specifically focused on the United States. Sophie Goldschmidt has been appointed the president and CEO of the United States Ski and Snowboard Teams. She comes from a pretty darn impressive background of managing and helping to grow all sorts of organizations. The NBA, the World Surf League, that's where she most recently was. The Women's Tennis League, the PGA European Tour, Adidas, and plenty more.
It's an impressive resume.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool to see what she brings to the table, help grow the sport in the United States, because the United States is kind of the region where ski racing could use some growth, some excitement.
Yeah.
Michaela Schifrin certainly helped bring some in. Ted Ligety helped bring some in, but I think make the sport a little bit broader appeal. And then the Washington Post had an article on Alice Merryweather's comeback. If you follow her, she's had a tough season. She took last season off to focus on mental health, which kudos to her.
Yeah.
More and more athletes speaking up for their mental health and doing what they need to. Back in September, which was yesterday. September was yesterday. Not that this happened yesterday, but way back in September, she suffered a really major training crash. Broken tib fib, ACL, MCL, and ultimately is going to force her to sit out for another season. Now, this article doesn't focus on the negatives. It more focuses on her resilience and determination to come back next season better than ever. Yeah. So if you're looking for an inspirational, not necessarily feel good, but inspirational story, go check that out.
It's always impressive how these athletes are able to bounce back from these really catastrophic injuries, and skiing is one of those ones where you really have to have your mental acumen about you in order to succeed. I'm just surprised that they can get in the gate again after stuff like that.
I wonder if it's something about skiers in general. I wonder if there's something like deep down inside us skiers. Like when I broke my femur, my surgeon basically told me I'd have a limp for my entire life. And I was like, no, I want to go skiing again. So I worked ridiculously hard. And the following season was the best I ever skied in my life, I think. So maybe there's some weird... Us skiers are just wired differently than...
Enjoy rehab.
Normal people. We're just stubborn, I think. And then next topic of the week, moving away from ski racing. And these next two will probably get through fairly quickly because they're kind of just announcements. The Vail Epic Pass price cut has resulted in epic success. So Vail, as I'm sure you guys all know, they slashed their prices by 20%. That resulted in Epic Pass sales being up a massive 42% as of right now. Some of that's a result of slightly slower sales through the COVID season, but they weren't down that much. And despite the 20% discount, being up 42% means that's an increase in revenue of 17%.
Yep.
So Vail continues to be in a very healthy place for
Yep.
a business.
Yeah, and I think that 20% encouraged a lot of people that had either never bought a pass
Yep.
before to get one, or if you were a local pass purchaser in the past,
Yep.
to
Bump
upgrade
up to the full Epic.
to the full Epic. So
Yep. Yeah, my mom's a good example. She had never had an Epic. I don't think she's ever had a season. No, she's had a season pass, but it's been a long time.
yeah,
But yeah, she had never had an Epic Pass, and she comes to Stowe a couple times a year, and she can go ski loon and stuff, and
Yeah.
it just made financial sense for her. So, I'm sure some areas may see an increase in skiers on the hill. We'll have to wait and see.
yep. I think it's just becoming a crowded sport, and that's all there is to it.
Yep. Fourth topic of the week, Timberline Lodge has officially acquired Summit Ski Area, officially making them the largest ski resort in America by vertical drop. Now, as of now, it's specifically by vertical drop, not necessarily lift service. If you're familiar with the area, so Timberline Lodge is a pretty big ski resort, kind of halfway up the slopes of Mount Hood, so to speak.
Yeah.
Summit Ski Area is a very, very small, you couldn't even really call it a resort. It's a very small ski area right in Government Camp. It's like one lift and two trails.
Yep.
So Timberline has purchased that. As of now, you'll still need to take a shuttle from Government Camp up to Timberline Lodge. But they have plans to install a gondola that would transport skiers right from Govey all the way up to Timberline. So that would really change the feel of staying in Government Camp on a ski trip or a ski vacation or whatever. Because previously, you've had to either shuttle or drive up, and there's something different about getting out of your hotel and just walking over to the lift.
Yeah, that'll be great for Government Camp people that want to get from there to the top of the hill.
Right. And you did some research. What was the second or the current leader for vertical drop?
Well, the
Telluride?
article stated Telluride, at just under 4,500, but that's not all lift served.
You had to hike to some of that.
So we kind of had a discussion of whether vertical should be measured by operational standpoint or hike to ability.
Right. Bringing up Stowe as an example, you measured it out that we would have a vertical drop if you included a hike to terrain of 3,200?
Yeah, almost 3,200 vertical. So, the discussion is whether you're continuous vertical is one thing, and then operational vertical.
Right.
So I think that it has to have both.
Yeah,
it has
I think
to be
so too.
Continuous operational vertical to qualify.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Timberline's going to be legit.
Yeah.
And it currently is, actually. Is what the article was saying, is that from top to bottom, you can
ski that whole way.
The whole way.
Just not lift access.
You can't get back up.
Yeah, exactly. Hence the shuttle.
Right. But
so
that's my take.
Yeah, no, and I think it'll be really cool. The other thing I thought of is I wonder if it'll change anything in the summer. It'd be pretty cool if you could just hop on the gondola and cruise up to Timberline instead of driving up. I think that could really improve the overall experience. Not that it's a bad experience, but yeah.
Yeah, depending on where that gondola ultimately dumps you off.
That would be the question.
Yeah.
It's kind of unclear of whether it would go all the way to Timberline Lodge, which is, further up the resort than the bottom of the lifts.
Yeah.
It's kind of a really hard place to describe if you've never been there. But that's it for news topics of the week. Lastly, we have our edits of the week. We got the second episode in season 14 from Line Traveling Circus. It's called Smells and Swells. really feels like those guys are going back to like classic traveling circus episodes this season. I know that people have been really enjoying them. I've been really enjoying them. It's like the original cast is all there.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. And for a group of guys, mostly in their mid-30s, they sure have a lot of energy still. It'd be fun to link up with them for an episode of Traveling Circus. We'll try and make that happen.
I don't know if I could keep up.
Yeah, but they would love to have you involved in a Traveling Circus episode.
Sure.
None of them can ski moguls like you, Bob, so we put in a mogul segment.
Okay, that sounds good.
Second edit of the week is Tales from Cascadia. It's a trailer from Blank Collective, presented by Solomon. Unsurprisingly, there are a lot of QST blanks in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the name. They're really doing a good, nice cross-promotional stuff there.
Really great job branding. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it actually is great branding. Really, it looks like a cool movie. They kind of split it into different chapters for the different tales. Mm-hmm. So that's one that I'm looking forward to seeing. And then we have Ice Cold, or Ice Cold, however you want to pronounce it, which is a cool little 10-minute short film on the surprising correlation between windsurfing and powder skiing.
And do you remember the Greg Stump film Groove at all? This was early 90s. This was like Gulf War.
I know of it, but I can't claim that I remember.
They had a windsurf segment in that was very parallel. They would kind of go back and forth between the windsurfing and the skiing, and it was, pretty remarkable. Like, not a lot of people had seen such high-level windsurfing on a film before. And if you're tapping into the ski population to get that windsurf visibility, like they did so pretty successfully.
Oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, check it out. It's very well done. Very, very well made, well shot, well edited. So check that out. And that's it for Top 5 Fridays. Bob, you got anything exciting this weekend?
Soccer tomorrow. Fantasy football Sunday.
How are you doing? Are you in a league?
I'm keeping my winning streak going.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
You're winning. You're in the lead in your league.
Almost.
So everyone root for Bob. I don't know how we would root for Bob because we don't know who's on your fantasy sports team. Good luck to anybody else that plays fantasy football. I can't say that I do. But yeah, hope you have a good weekend, Bob.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Hope you guys all have a good weekend too. Look for something about snowboards on Tuesday. And then we should be back later in the week with another comparison video. If you want to leave us a comment and let us know what you think the next comparison will be, maybe we'll choose your suggestion. So have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.